I've known Lillian. We were colleagues of each other in the entertainment industry, and so I've known her for quite a while. So when she was going through, or she went through the trainings of Bob Proctor and thinking in the results, and that was a time when I was really looking for something to take me to the next level. But what really appealed to me about Lillian's approach was getting the results and execution, and not just declaring clear intent, but following through and achieving what you set out to achieve. It was a lot more action oriented. And so I was really inspired too by Lillian's own results in starting her own business and becoming financially independent. And so that really inspired me to do similar things with not only my law school professor career, but also income streams and my creative pursuits as a filmmaker and writer. And so I think a lot of things that Lillian did really inspired me to seek coaching from her. I was working two jobs, and so I was both a law professor and a patent examiner at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. I was like spending a lot of time on both of those jobs and making a salary, but it was almost like trading time for money and never really having time for other pursuits. And it was just like, one of those like hamster wheels where you're constantly working and just, trading time for money. And then if you do that, you'll never get wealthy, you'll never get rich. And so when Lillian's impact on my approach to those things, it was revolutionary. It was phenomenal because it made me realize how you really need to build these income streams. You need to really be making money in your sleep, and you can't really constantly your whole life, you can't be trading time for money, because if you do that, you'll never get ahead. And it's always like, at best, you'll just like break even, but you'll never become super wealthy or super successful in terms of finances. So that made me, at the time I was pursuing this overages company, and now I've been doing it for a few years now, and it's like a really excellent independent income stream. And I was talking to Lillian too about other business ideas that I will be doing this year, which include like a podcast and other businesses. And in the past, it was always that fear of, oh, I have this, stable income, I have this job, if I quit it, then where is the money going to come from? And a lot of the things I learned from Lillian, it's like partly surrender, but also partly believing in yourself and having clear intention. And so once I left the USPTO, I realized like I had a lot more time, and I used that time to pursue just different business income streams and other opportunities. And I started like realizing for abundance, it's really like if you adopt a mindset of being generous and giving to other people, you'll see that multiply itself and come back to you. And so just to give you an example, like recently I found out that sitting on like $100,000 from like, my time in the federal government, I just sort of forgot about it, but it was just like, it's funny how if you put that out into the universe, like wealth will find its way. And then I had this like amount of money that was like this film festival was trying to contact me and give me. And it was just like being in that mindset, sending that signal to the universe. They just found me and contacted me, and it was sort of wild. And I've seen it again and again and again, like happen where if you put that out into the universe, you'll see it, come back to you multiplied. And, all these opportunities that I'm experiencing now. So tomorrow I'll be flying off to Taiwan for a visiting professorship at National Taiwan University, stuff like that, stuff like, my publications, like my success as a law professor, and also, just growing my network. All those things have came about through that approach that Lillian has encouraged in terms of, setting your intention really out to the universe, and then just be willing to receive. And I've seen, so many amazing, epic results just by adopting that mentality. I just distinctly remember the card, and I still have it. Since the day that Lillian told me the gold card. Yeah, so I keep it in my wallet. And it's always right here, and then it has my goals in the back. And that, I think, was probably the most effective because in the past, like if you're setting goals on your own, you sort of like might be more conservative and not really declare something epic. But my things were pretty bold about like starting the multiple like $1 million businesses, and then like winning the Nobel Prize for Literature and like at least one Academy Award and stuff like that. And then like once you do it, it's very funny. It's very interesting. It's like almost like the universe bends itself or shapes itself for you to achieve those things. And I just see that happening to me now. Like it just, ever since I made those declarations, I wrote it down. Most importantly, these things are just, I just feel like my life is like, I just was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, I feel like I'm living the legend of my life, and it's like, I'm doing all these like really epic, amazing things. And it was really because I had this clear intention and I set out to do it and I wrote it down, on that card. So I would say that was probably the most enjoyable aspect, like basically clarifying in your mind and also clarifying to the rest of the world what you really want to achieve, and then writing it down. And I think the card is such a great example of that, manifestation of what you really want to accomplish in your life and on this world. So I just feel like that really was a lot different than a lot of the other programs I've done. Lillian really gets to know you, and she tries to deeply understand your goals and what you're really after. I could confide in her, and so I feel that makes her very effective in terms of coaching about aspirations or goals, because she knows you that well. It's really like maybe a deeper understanding of what you like, what's like obstructing you but that you can't see, because oftentimes, like, I think as human beings we only want to see the things that we like to see or that are positive, and many times we don't get to see maybe like something that's holding us back, and we maybe refuse to admit that. But I think Lillian is able to cut through all of that and make us aware of that might be really something that is worth taking a closer look at. And as a result, that leads to epic achievements, because it's something that like it's blocking you, stopping you, but you don't really know why or know that it exists. And then I think working with Lillian really helps you get that awareness all around. I would say, definitely go for it. I think Lillian has probably been the most effective coach I've had in terms of achieving your aspirations. And so I think the benefit or the advantage is that she works with you intimately, and also, gets to know you very well, gets to know your goals very well. So I would recommend it to, anyone else in a heartbeat, especially if, you have these really epic goals. And then one thing I've always learned from Lillian is that if you have a goal or dream that doesn't scare you, then it's not big enough. It's not like worth pursuing. And you should really have something that makes you nervous and, sort of gives you doubt about whether or not you can achieve it. Because those are the really like juicy, epic, worthy goals. And Lillian will work very closely with you to utilize your tools, like unlock amazing skills and talents that you never knew you had in order to achieve those things. So I 1000% I would recommend seeking Lillian out for coaching and other services.